to another boat work video.
I've got a cramp. Whew, man. These boat projects, obviously this is a major project we're working on Uma.
Yeah.
And not everything that we do makes it into a nice clean cut episode. And there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes, and there's a lot that goes on that we just don't film because it just doesn't really make for a good story, I guess.
Yeah, it's more like the mundane and tedious work, like, you know, cutting the zip ties, cleaning up all the screws and stuff, coiling the cables, like all these little things that still happen behind the scenes that we don't necessarily film. It makes the project go slower.
It's just part of the necessary evils of doing a project this big. It's just tons and tons of sort of monotonous, mundane work.
So you guys wondered why it's taking so long, and if you put in perspective, a new boat, when it's being built, it takes up to 2 years to build it, and we're basically building a new boat.
5 to 10 people working on it. It still takes, at least a year.
And it's just the two of us, and we are filming it, and we're basically building a new boat. It's, I think, even more because we are ripping out an old boat to rebuild it as a new boat. So it takes time. Not that we're complaining or anything, but it's just the two of us, and we're just doing the best we can with the time and tools we have. So a couple days ago, Inizio, the same guy who did the ultrasound for the boat, he came to the boat and kind of did a little bit of a checkup to see what's the status of the hull is and what else we needed to do before we can be prepped for the glassing work. And we thought we were ready.
Grind. Yeah.
Okay, so there's a bit more phase 1 to do.
Yeah.
But there is a lot left, and like little things that we need to do, like, you know, make sure that the motor is protected, and we need to clean up the rest of the hull, and we need to make sure all the cables are out.
So we still have a lot of things left before we can actually start grinding. We've got to clean up all the wiring in the cockpit, take out the rest of the water maker electronics, clean up the shore power wiring, cut out all of the plumbing for our old rainwater catchment system. We need to take solar off, take the autopilot out, grind and clean up all of the fiberglass in here, move these drains, cut the pilot berth out, take the Cape Horn wind vane control lines out, probably cut out that bulkhead in the back because it's not really tapped into anything. There's just tons and tons of work to do. So to show you guys what sort of goes on between a normal episode, this week we're just going to sort of film the behind the scenes of a boat work, the non-sexy side, the monotonous side, the daily grind side.
It's more, it's kind of like a reality check for sure, because in between the big projects there is a lot of small projects to tackle. So this is the videos that you would normally see.
This is the honey-do list. This is the checklist, the to-do list.
All right, I just want to take a second to thank the sponsor of this week's video. Stop it right there. Oh, hey V, you have been stealing my segments, and don't think I haven't noticed. Don't think everybody hasn't noticed. Wait, what are you talking about? Oh, what am I talking about? I'm talking about this. You're not serious. V, you weren't there. First of all, I'm always there. And I told you this was my thing. You know this is my thing. You just never listen. Now, step aside. This is ridiculous. I said step aside. Okay. And I will show you how it's done. This video is sponsored by BetterHelp. Take notes, okay? You know the feeling where you just want somebody to listen, somebody who can take you seriously and not judge you for venting or talking about your feelings? Well, BetterHelp can match you with one of over 30,000 licensed therapists from their network, and you get connected with someone who is professionally trained to listen and to give you unbiased advice. And guess what? They also offer couples therapy. So when you're in a situation like this, you get the help you need. V, we're not a couple. Yes, we are. You see, this is why we need therapy. Getting started with therapy can be really difficult, especially if you can't find someone in your local area, which is why having a platform like BetterHelp goes a long way. As you can see from my demonstration, because Kika doesn't need to be in my sponsor segment, all you have to do is fill up this questionnaire, and it will help you assess your specific needs to help you get matched with the therapist that is right for you. And in most cases, you get connected within 48 hours with your therapist. And from there, you can start scheduling your therapy sessions, whether it's by phone call or video call or text messaging, if that's what you prefer. If the therapist that you're connected with isn't the right fit for you, you can easily switch to a new therapist without any additional cost or any worry about insurance or any worry about finding somebody else in your local area again. Over 4 million people have used BetterHelp for therapy, giving their precious mind the attention that it deserves. So if you feel like you can benefit from BetterHelp, make sure you check out our link below. It's betterhelp.com/sailinguma. Clicking on the link not only support our channel, but it also gives you 10% off your first month. And that's how you do a sponsorship segment. So our appointment is in an hour, so have fun with your little boat work, and please don't be late. Are you done?
Okay.
Okay. Bye. Well, I guess let's just go back to work.
This white box is the last piece of our water maker that needs to come out. It was sort of the only space we had available to install it, but it's an absolutely terrible position because there's a lot of electronic connections in here and the main pressure pump for our water maker is in here, and it's completely inaccessible. So we're taking that out finally now that we have access because we can actually be down here, and we're definitely going to be reinstalling it in a much better place. Decided to organize all this better. Let's see, I need to take this. This is our main battery switch. This is another fantastic angle. This just goes to show just how awkward and small this space is to work in. Thank you. So we really like having this electronic switch because it means we can turn our entire engine system on with a flick of one switch, which I'm sure you guys have seen a ton in our vlog. We just push one button and the whole ocean bolt system turns on, which is different than they recommend, and it's different than their wiring diagram where they have, I think, 2 main battery contactor switches, like manual ones, and then 2 other like servo prop switch and then a key switch. So you have to flip 4 different switches to turn it on, which we think is kind of silly. So we wired it differently and it's worked fine. There is one switch that we kept that you have to reset if there is some sort of fault code, but if there's a fault code, then I think it's happened twice in like 3 years. So you just shut the system off, turn that switch off, and then turn the system back on and turn that switch on. So it's not ideal. I think they're working on a better system, but this was our workaround. And we really like just pushing one button and having the whole system turn on. I can get this too. That's looking better.
Hi! Cozy. This is our shore power stuff. All right, I think I'm gonna start by, I'll disconnect these and I'll remove this, but I'll have to disconnect the actual wires. This is easy. Oh, it's not heavy.
It's not heavy
at all.
You said it wasn't that heavy.
You said it was heavy.
I said it wasn't that heavy.
It's not. Like, I can hold it with one hand. It's not heavy. Oh. Okay, well, that's that. voila. We're definitely keeping our Cape Horn, but we're gonna be rearranging how this whole system works so it works smoother. There's a couple sections that are chafed, so we definitely want to replace these, but we're keeping our Cape Horn for sure because we absolutely love it. It's not bad for 6 years. Because we're doing this whole project in the water, one thing that we're keeping in the boat and we're keeping active is the bilge pump. So we kept one of the batteries plugged in, but we're cutting all this section out. So we're going to be moving the bilge pump controller to somewhere else.
Like twist it through. Back over there, sort of.
All right.
I just set it down somewhere down there.
Ta-da!
Well, I will be doing boat work solo today. Kika is up at the Marina Cafe getting the next edit done for you guys to watch. So I just have a few projects to finish up on the boat today. I'm going to be cutting the pilot berth out, removing the autopilot, and just trimming up more loose ends in the cockpit lockers, getting ready to grind and prep all that for glass. So should be a pretty straightforward day. A lot of grinding, a lot of vacuuming, and should be kind of fun. I'm excited to cut that pilot berth out. We've hated that thing ever since we got the boat. It's just too small. So it's gonna be a good project. So let's get to work. All right, let's go to the cockpit locker. Another thing that we're removing is this gray piece of PVC piping that runs all the way around the inside of our cockpit locker. That was our rainwater catchment system back when we had a tow rail on UMA, but in Guatemala, when we glassed over our tow rail and took the wood tow rail off, we sort of lost our rainwater catchment system. We built sort of a temporary solution, which was catching water off of the solar panels and the bimini down into like some funnels that we've been using. But it doesn't work quite as well. But since we have a water maker now, it doesn't really matter. We don't really need to collect rainwater because we have enough solar and enough electricity to make sort of an unlimited amount of water. So that PVC pipe is coming out as well. So that's the next thing I'm going to be cutting out. It's kind of fun. I like demo. All right, it's time to get this pilot berth out of here. We are going to be putting something back here so that we do still have a pilot berth, but it's going to be bigger, more comfortable, more practical, and it's not going to have a weird sloping top to it that you can't store anything on top of. It's gonna be good storage in the cockpit locker and a good pilot berth inside. And it's just gonna be so much better. But before I start cutting all the tabbing out around the sides, it's sort of held in place by some flathead screws, the same type of screws that were holding our hull deck joint together. And check this out. They haven't really been doing anything. Look, this. I can undo them with my fingers. How ridiculous is that? Oh yeah! Well, that's it. That's the last thing I have to remove from the cockpit lockers. That was a whole day. I'm exhausted. It's really hard to maneuver in here. Now the only thing left to do in here is grind a lot and prep the hull for glass. But that's gonna be the end of today. As you can see, there's a lot of little minutia. There's a lot of little projects. There's a lot of just monotonous, boring boat work to get done, and it's a grind. We do our best to get it done every day, and we do our best to just keep chugging along. That's gonna be it for this one, guys. I'm gonna go check on Kika, see how the edit's going, give her this footage so she can plug it into the episode, and then this episode will be done, and we'll be able to put it up on Patreon and then on YouTube for you guys to enjoy. So let us know what you think. If you want to see more behind the scenes type boat work like this, let us know and we'll do our best to show it. Yeah, see you guys next week.